Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are going to be doing my 6-month photocard collection tour update video. So I do one of these every 6 months just to kind of get a overall broader picture of how my photocard collection is coming. I have way more binders than just this one right here, but this is the one I'm putting in the start of the video. I am recording this 2 years to the day, actually, of when I started this channel. So I guess it's a happy anniversary to me, but then also you guys. I feel like I want to definitely put you guys in that picture as well because you all are part of this community that I'm so thankful that I started this YouTube channel and created this very nice community where we can just talk about K-pop and photocard collections and all that good stuff. So very happy to have you guys here. And like I said, thank you so much for watching and being here. And I hope to continue doing this channel for the foreseeable future. I do want to keep this intro kind of short because I already know it's going to be a very long video. So just very quickly, I want to go over the main collections that I have. So main collections are Red Velvet, i-dle, ITZY, and aespa. I pretty much collect every member for all of those groups. And then I have some, smaller solo collections and things of that nature. So we will get all into it in this video. I will also go through all of my large inclusions binders, which there are 3 now, not just 2. So that's a big update from my last collection tour video. But yeah, with all that said, let me go ahead and get this video started. All right, so the first binder I'm going to go through is my Ultimate Group OT5 Red Velvet. So this is my Reve Festival finale cover on my main binder here. I did make some changes just yesterday, actually, to this binder as I was setting up for this video. I got a new A5 binder, first of all. So what I did with that binder is I moved all of the units, so Irene and Seulgi, and then all of the solo stuff that the members have done into that new binder. I'll probably show that after I show this binder. So this is all strictly OT5 here. And then in addition to that, I also reversed the order because it kind of just got to a point where all of my other binders are oldest era on top and newest era in the back, except for my Red Velvet binder. So I just flipped that. So Cosmic was on the top here. It's now in the back. And then obviously this is all debut era on the top. So all of my binders kind of follow the same theme of oldest era on the top and newest era, in the back on the bottom. So yeah, I guess with that out of the way, let me start flipping through. A lot of changes, like I said, very recently to this binder, but most of this will be the same because I am very caught up on my OT5 Red Velvet collection. And I feel like I am also very close to completing it, at least for the Korean releases. As I have mentioned previously, I am not too worried about the Kino cards. I don't plan on collecting those cards for those eras that they did Kinos for. They're just not that important to me. They're also pretty expensive now. They were really expensive, then they got super cheap because I guess SM reprinted them, and then now they're kind of sort of expensive again. So I'm not too worried about them. I still see, like, once I get cards like this in, I feel like I will have a complete OT5 Korean album collection for Red Velvet. And then I think you'll see maybe a little bit later in this binder the Japanese page for the Japan releases. I do have Bloom complete. And I didn't have any, I'm still missing this Irene, by the way. I didn't have any plans to collect Sappy or Cookie Jar, but now that I'm done with the Korean album OT5, I think I might just jump into the Japanese cards and try to pick those up because I don't think those should be that hard to obtain. Because I know they are definitely still in print because I was literally in Japan in January and I was able to pick up 1 copy of each of those albums. So I think the photo cards should still be pretty plentiful, at least on like Mercari Japan, for example, and they shouldn't be too hard to get. And yeah, so I'm just looking forward to hopefully picking that up, and then I'm like probably going to be fully satisfied with this binder once I finish all of the Japanese release cards. But we are in Queendom era now, and now we move to Feel My Rhythm, which I probably say this every single time, but Feel My Rhythm, these are my favorite photo cards. I feel like for any Red Velvet era, these are the best photo cards for all the members, like seriously. And then we move to Birthday era, of course, so they did a decent amount of photo cards for this release as well. Very, very nice. We have the cake photo cards there, and then those are some pre-order benefits. And then we get into Chill Kill, which I did singular pages for each of the members because each member just had 9 cards for this release. So just did 5 pages for this era. I was going to say 9 something, but just 5 pages for this era, 9 cards each page. That's kind of how that goes. And then lastly here, we have the most recent release, Cosmic. So I collected a good bit for this era. A couple Pop sets. I think I collected the Target cards as well. That's one of my favorite Seulgi photo cards of all time. That one right there. And yeah, so Cosmic was very fun to collect, and we are fully complete with that as well. These are some more pre-order benefits. I think these might be the Target cards. I'm not 100% sure though. I know these two are Pop sets though. I think they're both, well, this one's K-Town for You. This one might be like Apple Music or something. Does it say on the back? It does not say on the back. So I'm not 100% sure what those Pops are, but I'm pretty sure the middle column at least is K-Town for You. And then of course we have the Japanese release page that I mentioned earlier. So I have all of the Bloom cards here, and then these are the 2 pulls from the albums that I bought in Japan. So I have one Irene and one Yeti, and I hope to complete that collection in the future. And then after that, we get into basically the non-album stuff. I know SMCU is technically an album, but I don't really see it as like a Red Velvet album. So I just have the cards back here behind all of the regular album stuff. And this will also bleed into, you will see the Season's Greetings right after. So I don't have full sets for any of these. I don't really plan on getting full sets for all of these. I'm just kind of poking around every so often to see if I can pick up a card or two from SMCU Palace, and that's kind of just how I'm treating that collection. It's not like super high priority for me. And then we do have a full complete set for SMCU Express. So I have the Red Velvet album version, the SM Town album version, and then the ID cards from the Red Velvet version as well. So all of those are done. And like I said, we start to get into Season's Greetings. So this is from Season's Greetings 2025, this past year. And then the previous year is 2024. And before that, we will obviously get into 2023. So 2023 was the first year that I decided to buy a Red Velvet Season's Greetings. And I've been buying them every year since, clearly, but I'm kind of thinking about not doing it this year if Wendy and Yeri are not included in it. So I'm a little unsure how that's going to go, but if Wendy and Yeri, since they left SM, if they're not in the Season's Greetings, I'm not sure if I'll buy it. I might buy a different Season's Greetings, but I'll have to see like what happens when Season's Greetings time comes, which is usually like end of October, early November is when they start doing pre-orders for that. I do apologize for that very loud car going by, but we do have the My Dear Revelove FanCon cards. So I have full sets for all of these. We have the selfie set in the middle column, and then the 2 concept sets on the sides. So that is all done and dusted. And then these last cards in here are actually from, I think, the 8th anniversary. It's exactly 27 cards, so I just arranged them in order, you know, on each of the 9 pocket pages. I'm not too worried about like the same members from the same eras being on the same page, just because it's 27 cards, so it works out nicely. But they are from the 8th anniversary, and yeah, these are just basically all the early era photo cards that they released. They're kind of concept cards, but yeah, have those in the back of this binder right here. that is all I got for my OT5 binder, and I really like the amount of room that's left in this now, especially if Red Velvet do future comebacks, which I do know there was whispers that they were going to do a comeback in Q4 of this year, so we'll just wait and see, and hopefully something good comes from that. Moving on, I have the newest binder to the channel. I just picked this up. It's another A5 binder, or I guess it's A4. I always forget which one is which because I'm American and we don't call binders like that. Like this to me is just like a standard binder. So it's one of the two, but this is my new solo and like unit binder for Red Velvet. So I just took all of the pages that were in that OT5 binder that you just saw and I moved them to this binder essentially. So let's go through this real quick. I do have Seulgi right on top here because she is my ultimate bias and bias for Red Velvet. So we have 28 reasons right there. We have a couple poster book cards for the poster book that she released maybe like in 2021, I think it was. And then these are some pink Christmas cards that I just used to fill out the page. And then this is a collection that I'm very excited about and just very much enjoying collecting all of these photo cards. This is Seulgi's Accidentally on Purpose, so very happy with how this collection is going so far to this point. We have all of the album photo cards, and now it's just kind of focusing on all the pre-order benefits, non-album cards, you know, cards that I feel like I want to collect for this era, and there's so many, and I just want to try to go all out as best as I can to collect each and every one of them. So we're doing our best. I don't know where the stopping point is yet, but this is all I have to this point in time. And I do still have some fillers, as you can see, for QQ music cards. And then this page just has the 2 extra cards with the rest of the page blank because, like I said, I'm kind of just collecting as I go. I don't wholly know what I'm collecting until I look for a particular card and then buy it. And then I'll just set it up later when I actually buy it or have the card in my possession. And then after Seulgi, we move into Irene. So up top here, you'll have 1 page of Irene stuff, and then towards the bottom, you will have Like a Flower. I did collect full album for Like a Flower in terms of the album photo cards, so I have all of those on hand, and then this is the rest of Like a Flower. This one right here as well. And then these 2 joys down here are from her Hello release back in, I also think, 2021. And I've thought about collecting more of those cards, but I wanted to get farther along in my Red Velvet collection, buy some more of the expensive cards or more pricier cards before I grab at least a couple more of these Hello cards. I also don't know like how available they are, but we'll see. It's definitely something I am thinking about for sure, and I want to try to like progress a little bit more on those Hello cards. I also have Wendy up next here, so I have all of my album polls from Like Water, and then we get into Wish You Hell right afterwards. These are all album cards and such, basically just all the cards that I pulled with my Wish You Hell albums. And after that, we get into Monsters. So I have a full page of Irene here, then a full page of Seulgi, and then a full page of the unit photo cards with the lenticulars. So Monster is good to go. And then we get into Tilt, which I did make a change. If you saw my last storing photo cards video, my plan was to do the ID cards on this page for Irene and this page for Seulgi. As you can see, that is not the case anymore. So I decided to just basically flip them because I forgot to set up for the package box cards. And I only realized this when I was storing the photo cards in that video for this era. So this is actually the package box Seulgi. The package box Irene will go right here. And then on the next pages, I have the Irene ID right here. And then the Seulgi ID, when I get it, will go right there. But this is the page for pre-order benefits and stuff like that. These are some leftover album cards that kind of float onto this page. And then these are, of course, like the unit photo cards that came as like first press pre-order benefit type deal. But yeah, that's all I got for my soloist and like unit photo card collection for Red Velvet. I do have one more collect book for Seulgi, so let me do that. So moving on, this is my collect book for Seulgi. There's no real rhyme or reason to the cards that I put in here, except they're kind of just like non-album cards, they're merch cards, they're extra pre-order benefits. They're kind of just like an extra space for Seulgi cards that, you know, don't necessarily have a spot in my binder. So you saw the little teddy bear hanging off the side here, this keychain, this cute teddy bear, and then we get into the actual collect book itself, and all of these cards are arranged, I think, in release order still. So I didn't change these at all leading up to this video. I think they're still good in terms of release order, but these are all of the photo cards. I think these are a couple pobs right here. And then we have two more pobs with Seulgi. And then these are merch cards, I believe, from some sort of merch drop. And then two more pre-order benefit cards. Actually, I think this might be a merch card too. Not 100% sure about that. But we're getting to the end. This one actually might be out of order. I don't know what year this is, but I think this is a pink Christmas card. It is. I'm not quite sure what year it is, but this is probably out of order. I actually didn't want to collect this photo card, but I got it as a freebie, and it's an official photo card. So I was like, why not keep it, you know? And then this is from the latest SM Town release that SM just did this year, but I have 3 empty spots, so I can do 1, 2, 3 more photo cards in this. And I did recently just buy one for this collect book. It is the Cosmic Hollow Make Star card that Seulgi had last year. I've been looking for that card over a year, and I rarely ever saw it. And I saw it pop up on Mercari Japan the other day, and I was like, yes, please, I will take that. Gimme. So I went ahead and bought it, and I hopefully will have that soon to put in this collect book. But that is where we stand with this Seulgi collect book right now. That is where we stand with my whole entire Red Velvet collection. I'm very, very happy with all the progress that I've been able to make on it, especially in these last 6 months, because it's just been so crazy. But yeah, that's all I got for Red Velvet. Let's move on to the next group. Okay, so my next collection that I will go through is my ITZY OT5 collection. This is binder number 1 of 2, and this is my nice Cheshire cover right here. So one change I made to this binder just last night was I added an extra era to the end of it, which you will see at the very end of the binder. And I also, I think, moved like 1 or 2 pages of random photo cards out of this binder and moved it to my other ITZY binder. But for the most part, this binder will be exactly the same. So we, of course, start off with Icy Era and all of those photo cards. And then we get into Wannabe, which all of these early eras are fully complete. I think the only eras, like the farthest era that I go back that is not fully complete is Born to Be, which is the era that I moved into this binder last night. So you will see that at the end. But when I was evaluating my ITZY binders, I kind of thought that this binder could, you know, use a few more pages of photo cards in it, because it actually wasn't as full as I thought it was when I initially got the second binder and started Born to Be in that binder. And so I feel like now it's just, it flows, my collection flows a lot better, because this binder is fuller, but it's not too full, like it's not overflowing. And then of course the other binder got a little bit lighter because there's not as many photo cards in there, which there is specifically just for right now 18 of these like pocket pages just for Girls Will Be Girls era. So that is quite a lot of photo cards. And you will see when we get to that binder and I start flipping through it that it is a lot, and this is kind of the era that kickstarted all of the photo cards for ITZY that they just release every single comeback. But yeah, we have Crazy in Love here. And then we move on to Checkmate, which was also another pretty cool era. We had Sneakers as the title track in that era. Have the clear photo cards on the edge here. And then we have pre-order benefits mixed in with some unit photo cards. And then we have one of my personal favorite eras is Cheshire. So This is all fully done and complete. We have some pre-order benefits right there. And then we have, I forget what these cards are called. I was gonna say these cards, but these cards, they're called something different. They're like concept cards, but I think they have a particular name. I just don't remember what they are. And then we get into just the endless amount of like limited edition and special edition cards that ITZY did for Cheshire Era. There were so many of those types of cards. And then we have even more right here with these special message cards. Then we get into probably one of my favorite ITZY Pop sets. Again, I think I say this all the time, but I just love the light blue background. I love the holo. I love how all the girls look in these PCs. Like, this is probably one of my favorite ITZY sets, like, of all time. So very happy that I have that on hand. And then we move into Kill My Doubt era, which once again, just so many photo cards that we collected for this era, but it is all fully complete. And I love the way that it looks in my photocard binder, as we have more cassette cards, and then I think special edition cards for those pages. And these are all pre-order benefits. So I think this is Make Star, these might be Make Star, these might be Dear My Muse. I think that is correct. But I collected all of these photo cards, well, these two in particular, because I do love baseball. Baseball is my favorite sport, so I wanted to collect the baseball theme photo card sets for Kill My Doubt, so that's what I did. And then we have this K-Town For You set on this page right here. This is an official Soundwave card for Leah that I think I just got like in a random order, so I just decided to keep it and put it on that page for safekeeping. And then we have the clear cards for Kill My Doubt, and that finishes off that era for us. And then this is the new addition to this binder as of just yesterday. So I've moved Born to Be into this binder. Obviously, with only 4 members, I just did the 8 person layout for each 9-pocket page. And this era is almost fully complete. I am still just missing this Cherry Young green background card. I have looked like far and wide for it, and I still can't find it. I haven't even seen it pop up anywhere in months, so I just don't know how possible it's gonna be, but I'm gonna keep looking. I'm gonna keep at it. It's been like, I don't even know how many months now. It's been at least, let's see, Born to Be was January of last year, and we're already in August of this year, so it's been 20 months. 20 months of trying to find this photo card, and I still can't, but we are going to keep trying. I even thought about maybe buying some more special editions again, which I already have done once, but I'm not trying to pull that lever yet. That's kind of like a break glass if necessary type deal. But at least the Untouchable special edition versions are all fully done. And then we, of course, have the Nemo cards at the end with all of those complete as well, along with all of the units. And then we do have this one pre-order benefit set, I think from MakeStar for Born to Be era. So that is the first binder for ITZY. Let me get into the second binder. All right, so we are moving on to binder number 2 for ITZY. And with this binder, we will start with Gold era. So that is right on top. Unfortunately, the pages, or most of the pages in this binder, are kind of warped. Like, you'll notice this like crease in between the middle and the third row is kind of elevated. And then this crease in between the top and the middle row is kind of like, I don't know, inverted or something. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like, because if you stand it up straight, it kind of just sags down, obviously, because gravity. So I'm trying to, I did pick up a couple of the, gosh, what are they called? I've seen them called like compression bars, but then like binder page stoppers or whatever. Page locks, I think that's what they're called. I think on Meow Cafe. I bought some off of Meow Cafe, and I'm waiting for them to get to me. So I'm hoping that 1, they will fit, and 2, it will correct this problem that I have with these pages kind of warping a little bit. But for right now, I think they're mostly okay. But we have Gold era, which we will get into. This is, I think, fully done now. I think I'm missing maybe a couple cards for it. I think I'm still missing like a couple Phone Box and Nemo cards, which, yes, I am missing this Leah Nemo blue special card. but I have everyone else for that. And then these are the 2 phone box cards that I'm missing, which I haven't seen at all. I've been looking so much for those as well, similar to the Chaeryeong for Born to Be era, and they are just not popping up whatsoever for me. So hopefully I can find those kind of soon. Then we move into the special edition sets for Gold Era, which I completed pretty quickly because that was my top priority when this era started. I said I want to focus on the special editions because those are always very hard to pick up. And also very expensive if you wait too long. That was different for this most recent era because JYP was nice enough to put 4 PCs in each of the special edition copies, so the special editions are a lot more attainable for this era, which I'm very thankful for. We have this page, which is 3 pre-order benefit sets that I collected for Gold Era. So I think these are With Mew, these are Star River, I think, and then maybe these are a Make Star Shanghai fan sign event. I think that is correct. But these are also probably 2 of my favorite pages in both of my ITZY binders combined. I love all of these photo card sets. There's a reason why I collected all 3 of these photo card sets because all the members just look so good in them. And I also have a couple unit cards at the bottom there for that. And then this is where Girls Will Be Girls starts. And you will see as I start to flip through just the sheer amount of photo cards that we have for this era because it is a lot. And I did make a good start on my collection with my album pulls because I believe that's all these are. These are just strictly album pulls that you see right now. But I have started buying, if you saw my most recent haul video, I have started buying Girls Will Be Girls cards. So we will be adding to this collection pretty soon. And I also explained this in my storing video when I was storing all of these album pulls, but I arranged this era in a very particular way. So like I mixed and matched different album versions specifically so that all of the pages can line up in terms of like the outfits and concepts that they're wearing. So it can just look really nice overall. And I feel like once I get all of the photo cards in for this era, I'm gonna love this era so much and how it looks in my photo card binder. So we have the special editions now. Those are just all the pulls. And then this is one of the pre-order benefit sets. I just picked up the other one in my most recent haul video, so I will be storing that in the next storing video. And then these are pre-order benefit sets. Actually both are for Make Star. So this was one of the Make Star sets that you got like a full set of, and then this is the set where it was based upon like the amount of albums you had to buy. So I bought like 5 different copies to get a full set of these, and then this is just reserved for a random POB set whenever I decide to buy it. And then I might even add like another couple POB sets to that because I feel like I kind of want to collect at least 3 more POB sets for this era, but that is much farther down the line. And then after Girls Will Be Girls, we get into Yeji's solo release. So this is a fully complete collection with the exception of 3 non-album cards that I have not yet decided to buy, but all of the album cards I do have in this collection right now, and I think it looks so good. And I just love how I set up these pages and how it turned out. And it just worked so well together, just the way I set it up and just the amount of cards JYP released for like each of the versions and all that good stuff. So this is the last page where, like I said, I have 3 spots reserved for non-album photo cards. These are all, well, I think actually all of these are Make Star pre-order benefit sets because I think this also came with Make Star as well. And then these 3 are Coco Dive, I think, pre-order benefit sets. So I just need to decide on a last couple cards here, and then I'll be good with that. And then we kind of get into the random pages for ITZY that I just kind of have at the back here. So these are extra cards from Gold Era that I picked up through buy orders. So some sellers were selling like album photo cards that I needed that also came with these pre-order benefits. and they were like the cheapest prices for those album cards, so I bought those orders and acquired these pre-order benefits that way. I didn't decide to sell them, I just decided to keep them. And then I have the Born to Be tour cards from the, I think, DVD or Blu-ray set, one of the two. So it's just the 4 members up there. And then I do have the Light Ring version 2 cards, all 5 of the members. This is from, I think, With Mew. And then I have all of the Japanese release pulls from the Japanese albums that I bought when I was in Japan earlier this year. Like I said earlier in my previous collection tour video back in February, because I did rewatch it just yesterday to kind of refresh my memory where I was 6 months ago. I do still plan on building off of this collection. It's just with everything that has happened this summer and the last 6 months, I've been so busy with other collections, and I haven't really had the time to even think about what I want to do with this Japanese card collection for ITZY, but I do plan on building off on this at least a little bit and maybe filling out 2 pages worth of Japanese release cards for ITZY. I just haven't really had the time to think about it. And then, of course, we get into the last 2 pages of the binder here, which we have the Light Ring version 1 cards. And then I think we have, these are also DVD cards from the first World Tour DVD, so the Checkmate DVD. These are the ones that come with the DVD itself, and then I think these ones were pre-order benefits, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that is basically everything that I have for ITZY. I hope to maybe start a Ryujin collection in the near future, but like I said, with everything that's going on right now, and all of these comebacks are just like not slowing down whatsoever, I don't know how soon that's going to be, but it's always been something in the back of my mind that I want to start a Ryujin collect book or some sort of collection, because she is my ITZY bias, and I basically have a collection for my other biases and my other groups, right? So that's something that could be coming down the line, but like I said, not sure when. So let's get into the next group. So the next collection that I'm going to go through is my i-dle collection. I now have 2 binders for i-dle. That is another new change to my collection. So this is going to be my main like OT5 binder for i-dle photo card collections. And then I have another binder similar to my Red Velvet collection now, where I moved all of the solo stuff, so like Yuqi, Mini, Soojin, all of the soloists into that binder, along with I think a couple like extra i-dle cards in that binder. So this binder to me, once I open it, and you'll see, I feel like just flows a lot better than it used to, because we just start with the first era that I collected OT5 for, which was I Love era. And I don't plan on really back collecting too much, really at all, for i-dle before this era, because I think those cards are going to be pretty hard to obtain. But you'll see in the next binder that I go through that all of my album pulls from those eras prior to I Love will be in that next binder. So you will see those eventually. So let's get started flipping through I Love era. And as you'll notice with i-dle, very similar to ITZY, they like to go very crazy and insane with the sheer number of photo cards per era. They did so many for I Love and I Feel, and I feel like honestly every era since then. These are fan-made cards, by the way, for the, I think, World Tour they did in 2023. And then we start to get into I Feel era, which is Queen card era. Love that era so much. And this is also fully complete. The photo book cards were very difficult to get for this era, but we ended up making it work. I think it took me a little over a year to get one of the Shuhua photo book photo cards, which I think was this one right here. I'm just so glad that I finally have it in my possession. I got it a while ago, but I think back to how long it took to get that photo card, and I was like, I hope that never happens again with any other photo card, and it turns out it's happening a couple times since then, so I guess just bad luck for me, especially with that Cherry Young, and then, you know, all of the phone box cards from Gold era, although I think, has it been a full year since Gold era? I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like it's pretty close. Then we have the IDs, which these are all original IDs. I know in like second prints they were flatter and not like credit card thickness. These are all of the credit card thickness ID photo cards, so all original like first print ID cards. And then more Queen Card era cards right there. Then we get into Heat era, which I did collect full comeback for. And so we have all of the album photo cards here, and then they did like a pre-order benefit set where it's a quote-unquote signed photo card. And I got all 5 of those. It's not actually signed, it's just like a printed signature on the photo card, but still have those. And then we move into 2 era, which I do also have fully complete. So that is very, very nice. 2 era was actually, now that I think about it, pretty easy to collect. Like, I don't know what it was, but even the jewel case cards were pretty simple. Like, I'm not gonna lie. What was difficult was just collecting and getting my hands on the POB sets that I wanted to collect, which you will see probably in a second here. There were 2 POB sets in particular that I decided to collect, like, when I finished collecting everything that I wanted to collect to begin with. How many times can you say the word collect in a 5-second span? These are the sets that I'm referring to. So I forget what stores they were, but I remember seeing these like in a template and I was like, I need these so bad, because they're obviously wearing the outfits from the MV, and I think both of them are lucky draws, so that made them even a little bit more difficult to obtain. But we have them nonetheless, and I'm very thankful that I do have them. And we have some photo cards with the light sticks over here on the far right side to kind of just finish and fill out the page. And up next we have ITZY era, which is sadly still not complete, and this is over a year old. And the crux of this collection is absolutely the cassette cards that I just cannot find for the life of me. People are not listing them. They are just, I feel like, extinct. I need more than 1. I think I need like 4 or 5. We'll see in a second here. So I have 4 missing right here, and then, yeah, I'm missing 1 on the next page. So I need a total of 5 cassette cards still. They're just so rare, and you just don't see them, and I don't know if this is ever going to be completed, but again, I'll keep looking for them. I'm not going to like tap out and give up yet, but it's kind of sad that this hasn't been completed yet. We're now over a year after ITZY, but, you know, can't do anything if they're not popping up, you know, on like eBay or Mercari or whatever. Like, I can't really do anything about it. I guess I could look on Instagram to see if people are selling, but I prefer not to buy or trade through Instagram, at least like as of right now. Maybe that will change in the future. But we do have more ITZY photo cards here. I think these might be the Polka album cards. And then I think pretty soon we'll be getting into pre-order benefits, which, yes, that's what those are. And these are as well. So that's all I got for ITZY era. And towards the back here, we of course have the next era, which is We Are. And these are once again just all of my photo card pulls that I stored in my last storing photo cards video. And I did pick up a good amount of i-dle photo cards in my latest haul, so we will be adding to this collection fairly soon indeed. And then these are some more cards here. We are still going on. These are pre-order benefits, so I have the K-Town For You pre-order benefits full set, and then I plan on getting the full set for both of the Make Star pre-order benefits that they did, since they did, I think it might have actually been 4 full sets. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I wanted to collect the 2 sets because I got this Yuqi and this mini with my Make Star albums. I wanted to at least finish, you know, those, so that's why I'm doing that. And last but not least, I think in this binder, we have some Blu-ray cards. So that's what these are right here. We have some World Tour cards, I believe. So this is from their latest World Tour. It's just some photo card merchandise. And then we have 2 unit cards right here, which is also from World Tour merchandise. I think I got both of these with the collect book, the Yuqi collect book that I have, but it's not an Yuqi collect book. Like, they didn't sell it as an Yuqi collect book. I just made it as an Yuqi collect book. But that book that you will see in a moment here, I got those 2 unit cards from. And then we have this from the Weverse membership kit. So this photo card set and this photo card set is from that. this photocard set, I don't actually remember where this is from. Where is this from? Okay, so this is from the Blu-ray DVD. So this is a Blu-ray DVD set for their world tour that they did in 2024 for i-dle. And then these are the Yuqi and Shuhwas on this page. But that is all I got in the first binder for i-dle. Let's get into the second one. Okay, so this is my newest binder to my i-dle collection. Once again, just a standard binder, and it's not too full right now, but I have all of the solo stuff and then just extra i-dle cards in here. So these first couple pages, if you'll remember from my previous video, my collection tour video, these first 3 pages right here are like all my album pulls from i-dle albums prior to I Love that I just didn't fully collect those eras for. And then there's also my album pulls from Miyun's solo release, which you see on this first page. And then my one, I think, singular album pull for Soyun's Windy release. So that's what these first 3 pages are. So we can flip through those rather quickly. I do have 2 Soojin photocards, technically 2, but this isn't like, it doesn't have her face on it, but this is like her character card from that release. I think it was Hua, right? And then this is also, I think, from that same release. I have a Soojin photocard right there. This is one Windy card, the one Windy card that I got for Soyun's solo. And then the rest of my pulls here are just kind of arranged in age order. I actually didn't pull this photocard. I bought this off of Mercari Japan, but you know, I kind of just put it in with this because I don't really have any other photocards for that era. So that's where it's going to go. And so then we get into all of the solo releases that i-dle have done thus far, with the exception of Miyun and Soyun, because I didn't collect full era for those 2. But for Mini, I did collect full comeback for that, or full debut, I guess. And so I have all of the album photocards on the first page here and on the next page, with the exception of these LP versions, which I really think I'm just going to have to scrap this idea, because these are also more photocards that I am just not seeing anywhere. And every time I look for photocards, I'm like, I want to not check, but I'm like, just check. You never know if they'll be there. So I always check, but they're just never there. So these I might have to scrap. And I said if I scrap collecting the rest of the LP version cards, I'd probably move these 3 pre-order benefits to this page, and then maybe just collect one other Pop photocard to complete the page, and I would just completely get rid of this last page just altogether. So I might end up doing that, because as you can see, I did also plan on collecting 2 extra Pop sets for Mini, but with those LP photocards being so non-existent, I think I'm going to have to just not do this. So that's where the Mini collection is at for right now. And then we do have some Soojin photocards. So these are all of my pulls for her first release, Agassi. And then these are, I think, just some like extra non-album cards that I decided to pick up off of eBay because I thought the set was really, really cute. I can't remember if they were like pre-order benefits or part of a merch drop or something or other, but these 6 photocards are definitely my album pulls. And then we get into Riz era. So these are all, once again, album pulls on this first page. I do have a lot more photocards for this era because I think I got 3 different Polka versions. So that's what these are from. These are MakeStar pre-order benefits, which I ordered 3 Polka versions. So I got 3 pre-order benefits from MakeStar. And then these are extra non-album photocards that I also picked up off of eBay. Very, very beautiful, like flower crown photocards. So love, love, love having those in my Soojin collection. And then last but not least in this binder, I do have Yuqi. So this is a full complete collection as well. And this is for her first debut solo album, Yuqi 1. And so we have all of the regular photo book cards right there. And then we have special edition cards mixed in with the rest of the photo book cards on this page. And then these are all MakeStar pre-order benefits for Yuqi. So very excited. I feel like we're going to be adding to this binder a lot pretty soon because Soojin, just today, her company announced a single album. So we are getting just 1 song, which is a little disappointing because I thought it was going to be at least a mini album. And I mean, it's been, what, almost a year now since she released any type of music. So Hopefully still enjoy the song, and hopefully they do some sort of physical release for it so that we can get photo cards, because if they do, I'd probably collect some of them. And then also, I just saw last night that they announced Yuqi is going to be doing a solo comeback sometime in September. So we don't have a date yet, but an official news article or like press release or whatever was put out that Yuqi is doing a solo in September. So very much looking forward to that, because she's my idol bias. I plan on going all out for that if I can. So looking forward to it. And yeah, we do have one more idol related collection to go through, and that is my Yuqi collect book. All right, so this is my Yuqi collect book, and as you can see, this is basically the World Tour collect book that they were selling as merch for the 2024 World Tour. I picked this up when I went to the Chicago date back in, oh gosh, I don't even remember what month. Was it like August of last year too? I think it's been like a year. It doesn't feel like a year has passed, but a year I think has definitely passed. So we have this pretty Yuqi photo card on the front cover here, which I specifically chose to be the cover of this particular collect book. And then of course we have all the cards in the collect book itself. It's not a super big collection as of right now, nor is it really like arranged in any particular order. I kind of just put them in here as I got the photo cards, but these are all the photo cards I have on hand at this time. And so we have some more photo cards of Yuqi here, just extra photo cards that, you know, I sought out and wanted to buy for Yuqi. So I don't remember really at all like what any shops any of these are from or whatever. I just bought the photo cards because they were cute photo cards, and that's kind of how I'm proceeding about this collection and how I like to fill up this book. So I'm not sure if I have any more. Let me see. Nope, that was it. So this is the last page right here. I think this is, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and then 18. So I have technically 19. So 19 total photo cards for this Yuqi collect book. It has grown a lot, honestly, since my last photo card collection tour. So I hope to add just as much to it within the next 6 months as I did this past 6 months. So let's move on to another group. All right, so the next group I'm going to go through is aespa, and I also do have Got the Beat in the back of this binder. So first and foremost, this is my aespa binder cover. I have grown to actually like this cover a lot. So I didn't really like it at first. I had a vision for when I put it together, and it didn't really come out the way I wanted it to, but I kind of like how it looks now, honestly. It's kind of grown on me. So I do have aespa basically fully complete up until this latest like era. So Dirty Work, I basically have all complete up until then. So we have Savage era to start, which was, of course, not their debut era, but it was their physical debut era. So they had a similar debut like ITZY, where ITZY released Dala Dala digitally. They didn't have any physical stuff. And then they, of course, had ITZY, and that was their first physical release. So aespa did Black Mamba and then released Savage later physically. So we have Girls Era now. And then this is a full page of Target photo cards, which I will talk about more, I guess, in a second when we get to Dirty Work era. I did actually collect a decent amount for this era right here. So Spicy era or Welcome to My World era, whatever you want to call it. There was a good amount of photo cards that I collected for this, and they also just had a decent amount of regular album photo cards as well. So that made it a little bit more plentiful in terms of the amount of photo cards that we collected, because I always feel like my aespa collection could be bigger, but I'm not sure how to make it bigger unless I just collect like an insane amount of pobs. Because SM, and I noticed this because I announced Rich Man for September, and I already saw like the album previews or whatever, there's only going to be 12 total photo cards like for the entire era so far. So one, that leads me to believe that they're going to announce yet another version either closer to the release date or after the release date so that they can add to that photo card total. But then also it kind of just like makes me think like aespa doesn't really release that many photo cards per release. So I don't know, I'm kind of like fighting back and forth all the time with, do I collect enough aespa? Should I collect more of them? Or like, is what I have enough? You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of trying to find that balance, and you'll see with Dirty Work a little bit later. I did kind of go a bit wild with the amount of pre-order benefits and just extra cards I decided to collect, especially with Rich Man coming up very, very quickly, and I feel like I've barely even started on Dirty Work era. Which is, I mean, you know, the comebacks themselves are only like, what, Dirty Work came out at the end of June, and then Rich Man's coming out beginning of September, so that's like barely 3 months of off time. And I know Dirty Work was a single, but it's like, if it was a single, why did you release so much, like in terms of photo cards and pre-order benefits and album versions, right? This is the one Japanese release that aespa have done so far, so this is Hot Mess, and I did collect full era for that, so we just have 2 pages. They also just did 12 photo cards for that era, and then I believe these are Rakuten benefits from Japan. So love those. And then we get into Whiplash era. So I have this fully completed as of my last storing video. I decided and collected the last photo card set, which was this one right here. I think both of these actually are jump up photo card sets. They're just for different, like, I don't know, signings or pre-orders or video call events, whatever. But I think they're both jump up sets. So very happy to have those on hand. And then this, as I mentioned earlier, was my Dirty Work setup. These are just album pulls as of right now. I haven't stored any of the extra cards that I got in yet. There go the cars outside again. I'm sorry if you can hear that. But yeah, this is the rest of Dirty Work in terms of the case version. And then these are pre-order benefits right here. What are these? I forget what these are. Oh, these are the ring version cards. So yeah. These are the OT4 set that you get with the ring version, and then this is the OT4 selfie photo card that you get in that same version as well. And then we get into all of the extra stuff that I decided to collect. So as you can see, Apple Music, Everline, and then Everline Lucky Draw, SM Town Lucky Draw. And then this is where I was talking about earlier about the Target photo cards. I said never again when I collected Target photo cards for Girls Era. I said I'm never doing that again. They're too hard to obtain, too much of a hassle, right? And so for this one, I really, really like the Giselle photo card for Amazon. And I'm saying this because I guess technically Amazon is a US exclusive because they kind of lump it in with like Barnes & Noble and Target and Walmart and all of those, right? So I'm only really saying this to say that like I may not collect all of these Amazon photo cards. I might switch it up to a different set that is at least a little bit more attainable because I have seen a couple of these. I haven't really seen this Giselle at all. And if I have seen it, it has been uber expensive. Like $40-$50 for one photo card, and I just don't want to pay that, at least right now. And so I have seen Karina, Winter, and Ning Nings. Those are a little bit more affordable from what I've seen, but this Giselle photo card, I specifically chose this Amazon set because of the Giselle photo card, and I feel like others probably really like this photo card. It's the one where she's in like the leopard print top with the red hair, and I think she's outside, so that is the photo card that I want and why I chose this set, but I might just give up on it if it continues to be like too expensive or too just like rare. So I do have all of these trading cards though. I just recently got these in from an order, so we are good to go on that, but I may have to nix the Amazon stuff, and I'm disappointed in myself because I said I would never do US exclusives again after those Target cards in Girls Era, but here I am doing more US exclusives. But after Dirty Work, we move into all of the extra like non-album stuff. So I do have 2 sets, basically just from the aespa version of the SMCU Express. So I have the ID cards and then all of the selfie photo cards. And then I do have basically full sets of all of these SMCU Palace cards. There are, I think, maybe 2 or 3 more sets that I'm missing for each of the members, but that's kind of just where that's at right now. It's kind of similar to Red Velvet. I'm just poking around every once in a while to see if I can find one or two of those cards, and if I do, great, and if I don't, well, then I'll just pass for now. In addition to the SMCU Palace for Ning Ning on this page, I do have this one Ning Ning that I got as a card for the collect book that I bought, Season's Greetings collect book. So I feel like since it's a Season's Greetings merch card, it kind of fits with SMCU Palace, since that happens end of, beginning of every year type of thing. And then these 4 cards are from their latest World Tour DVD episode or episode. I forget exactly how you pronounce it, but that's what these 4 cards are from. And then we get into finally the Got the Beat section. So this is all I got for Got the Beat, and we are honestly very, very close to completing this. The problem will be, though, is that the remaining cards that I have left are pretty rare, and I just have not seen them. So I am missing 1 Hyoyeon for this page, and then for this page right here, I am missing another Hyoyeon and a Boa, but I do have the other 5 members there. This is a full complete page for one of the black back versions. And then I'm missing a Taeyeon for the other black back set. So 5 photo cards in total, I think that is. And I'm trying to look for them once again every once in a while. It's just moving kind of slow because this is kind of on the back burner. It's not a super high priority collection for me. So still trying to slowly but surely make this an OT7 collection. This last page, however, is fully OT7, and these are the Smini cards. So I do have all of these on hand. And yeah, that is all I got for this binder. So all I have for Got the Beat, all I have for aespa. Let's move on to the next one. So I almost forgot, I still do have this Giselle collect book. This is the Season's Greetings collect book I was referring to when I was talking about that one Ning Ning photo card just a minute ago. I don't exactly remember what year this was released, but I decided to pick it up when I was in Japan, and I am using it now for just like extra Giselle photo cards that I want. So that is the front cover, and then these are all of the photo cards on the inside, which I feel like we have made pretty big contributions to this collect book a lot recently. So I'm pretty sure I only have like 8 or 9 spots left already, which I feel like is not a lot. Especially because I just bought literally every single one of the Bella Magazine photo cards that Giselle released, or I guess Bella Magazine released for the Giselle photo shoot. So there's 6 Polaroids and 5 selfie photo cards, and I don't really think I'm going to put them in here. I might, but I also don't think I have enough spots for 11 photo cards in here. Nor, even if I did, I don't know if I would want to put all of them in here, because I feel like that takes up space for other photo cards that I could buy. But yeah, we'll just have to figure that out. This is where my Giselle collect book sits right now at this point in time. Like I said, we made a lot of contributions to it in the last 6 months, so I'm very happy about the progress we made on it. All right, so the last photo card binder of the video is basically what amounts to my miscellaneous binder. However, I do have full collections in here, so we will just go through that and I can show you guys exactly what all is in this binder now. So first things first, I do have my Chung Ha collection, which I just recently decided to back collect and fully collect Chung Ha as a soloist. So I'm kind of surprised with the amount of progression I've made in just this last 6 months, but especially since I decided to fully embrace like a full solo Chung Ha collection. So we have Hands on Me fully complete. I am still missing 1 offset photo card. I have Blooming Blue completely done. These are just the 2 photo cards for Gotta Go era. I have Snapping era completely done. And then as I get into the next page, I have Play fully done. And then I have Querencia fully done as it continues on to the next page. I'm still missing 1 Killing Me photo card, which I still haven't really seen a whole lot, but I am looking for it kind of occasionally. And I'm still missing, I think, 2 Barren Rare photo cards. So these are 8 Barren Rare photo cards, and then it kind of goes on to the next page as well, where I'm missing this one, and then I also have this Barren Rare photo card. And then, of course, we get to Alivio. So these are the 4 regular album photo cards for Alivio. These are 2 pre-order benefits that I got. I think these are both from Dear My Muse. And then this is a spot I have reserved for some other non-album card, which I haven't seen too many of, and the ones that I have seen are like 30 bucks, and I'm just kind of deciding whether or not that it's worth it or not to pay that amount of money for a Chung Ha pre-order benefit. So it's something that I may get kind of soon. I don't know. I'm kind of just like thinking about it, but we have made good progress on this collection, and it's grown since my last video because obviously I wasn't collecting Chung Ha fully since my last video. I was just collecting album pulls essentially. So yeah, very happy with how this collection turned out, and I'm looking forward to the future of that collection. Up next in this binder, we have my SSERAFIM top 3 collection, and this is fully complete up until Crazy era. So I just started collecting Hot very recently, and I got some photo cards for Hot era in my latest haul, but we should be good to go up until Crazy era. So this is Fearless, and then we move right into Anti-Fragile, and I did collect a couple sets for this as well. I try to collect most of the album cards, but there are some album photo card sets that I just decide not to collect because they're either like horizontal cards or pola cards or whatever, and I just don't feel like collecting them. I rather focus on like the regular photo book cards and like selfie photo cards and all of that stuff. So we have some Weverse cards mixed in as well. That's Unforgiven era. This is also Unforgiven era. I think I have the Target cards for these as well for this particular era. And then we get into Easy, which I also have fully done and dusted. I didn't collect as many regular album photo cards for this era. I just have the 4 sets, and then I have 2 sets of pre-order benefits right here for my top 3. So very happy with that. I consider that era completely done. I don't plan on collecting anything else for that era. And in addition to that, I have Crazy Era right here, and this just very recently got finished in my latest storing photo cards video, so I now have all the photo cards that I wanted to collect for this era, so we are good to go there. And then this is my setup for Hot era, so I plan on collecting all of the photo book, regular photo book cards, 3 of the compact version cards. I think they have 6 total compact version sets. I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly from the template, but I think that's what it is. My main intent is to collect just like the regular selfie photo cards for the compact versions. And then same thing goes for the Weverse. I think they also did 6 different sets for the Weverse cards. My focus is just going to be collecting the selfie photo cards for Sakura, Kazuha, and Unche. So that's what we're going to do for Hot era. And then I did set up for 3 pre-order benefit non-album photo card sets that I want to get for each of the members. But that is where that SSERAFIM collection sits. These are just some extra SSERAFIM cards that I have pulled myself that I have decided to keep and not necessarily sell. So I do have a couple Chaewon photo cards here, and then some more Yoonjin on this page and the next. I have 1 extra Kazuha photo card because it doesn't really fit into my setup at the beginning of this section, so I just put it back here with the extra photo cards, and these are unit photo cards as well to kind of finish my SSERAFIM section. Actually, I take that back. These are extra photo cards as well. So this is a, I think maybe Fearless Japan like merch drop or something. These are 6 photo cards that Sakura had, and I collected these because Sakura is my SSERAFIM bias, and I kind of just like wanted these cards to have. And then these are more photo card pulls that I believe I pulled myself from the Unforgiven album. So yeah, that's where we stand with the SSERAFIM collection. Very happy with that. Up next, we have my BLACKPINK collection, which is not like super complete. I do have a lot for Pink Venom era, but even then, like Pink Venom era is not fully complete. I do have these 4 the album photo cards. These are just my regular pulls, and I even believe that like these group photo cards came in every single album version, so I guess my pulls were just Rose and Lisa for that particular album. And then we of course have Pink Venom era, which I did collect a lot for, but it's not fully complete by any stretch of the imagination. So that's what these all are. I think these are all pre-order benefits as well. I have a couple random like light stick pre-order benefit cards also. So yeah, just not really like super cohesive, but I'm happy with it nonetheless. These are the 8 photo cards from the BLACKPINK Weverse membership kit, so I do have those on hand. And then these are photo book cards from Lisa's photo book. I think maybe these 2 are from volume 3 and this one's from volume 4, or maybe vice versa. So like these 2 are from volume 4 and this is from volume 3. I know for a fact that this one's 3, that one's 4, but I forget what this one is. And then I did buy Square Up, a copy of Square Up, when I was in Japan in January, and so I got this Jisoo and this Lisa out of it, so I had some extra space on this page, so even though it's out of order, I just decided to put them on here because I had the space, and I didn't want to disrupt anything towards the front of this section to really damper that. And after the BLACKPINK group stuff, I get into Jisoo, and so this is all that I have for Jisoo's solo debut from me. It's pretty close to fully complete, but it's not fully complete. I'm definitely missing more than a couple photo cards here, but I still feel like I have a good amount for this era, so very happy with that collection. I don't plan on collecting anything more for that. It is what it is at this point. I'm happy with it. So this is what I have for Amortage. So this is her most recent solo release back in, I think, February it was. And I'm just missing one regular album photo card for this, and then just like random pre-order benefits, or I've been seeing like merch cards or whatever. So I just need to pick those up and finish this collection essentially. But all this will be is 2 pages, and then I'll just be done with Amortage. But that's all I got for Jisoo and BLACKPINK. Up next for this binder is my EVERGLOW collection, which has stayed the same, I think, maybe perhaps for the last 2 photocard tours, sadly, because they just haven't put out music because their company just doesn't like them for whatever reason. And I did see a lot of the members left the company finally because their contracts ended. But I think i-dle is still in the company, which is quite unfortunate. And I did see something where 4 of the members, so I think it was EU, Shihyun, and Onda and Asha are going to do like a 4-person group and do music together as the 4 of them. I think i-dle wanted to do it, but because she's still stuck in that company, unfortunately, she can't. And then I think Mia just opted not to do it, which I'm totally fine with. If she doesn't want to like do this anymore, then whatever makes her happy is what makes me happy, right? I'm totally fine with that. But it's really sad like what happened to this group, because you think about where they were in like 2019 and 2020, and they were getting hundreds of millions. I'm not even kidding. You can go back and look. Hundreds of millions of views like on their MVs. Their music was super, super popular. And I really just don't know how you fumble that as a company. I really just don't know. And I still love EVERGLOW so much and the members so much. I just wish their situation was different. And I just wish that they had a better outcome. But I'm still rooting for them. I will still be here, like whatever they opt to do. If they end up doing this like 4-member group, I will be there for that. So I just want the best for them, and I hope that they're doing okay, and I just hope that this whole ordeal doesn't like hurt their confidence too much, because they really are talented and they just deserve better. So that's how I feel about their whole situation. But as far as the photo cards go, this is basically all I have. So I just kind of keep my pulls from the album versions that I buy. I don't really go out of my way to buy any extra photo cards for EVERGLOW, so this is what I got on hand. I do have some World Tour merch photo cards here, so this is a full OT6 set from their World Tour, I think in maybe 2023. I can't remember exactly how long ago it was. And then this set is also from that as well, so they did a clear photo card set. So that's what I got for EVERGLOW. And the next collection I have also probably hasn't changed too much in the last 2 to 3 collection tour videos, and that is my Alexa collection. So she has not released anything physical since Girls Gone Vogue era. That is probably because her company is also another company that just like treats their artists like crap, and I don't know how, because I feel like her company, she was like the only one at her company. So like if you only have one artist, how are you fumbling that? Like they were just doing they were doing her so dirty. They were releasing songs like without her knowledge. They were releasing songs that she recorded like 3-4 years ago that she had no intent of releasing, and the company still released them as like digital singles and just weird stuff like that. So the way that company moved was just like so neglectful, and I'm so glad she's out of there finally. And I did see that she did have like a little bit of a physical release because it was like a collab that she did with another artist. I'll be honest, I listened to the song and I didn't really love the song, so the collab didn't really hit for me, so that's why I didn't buy the album. But she did have like a photocard or two in that collab with that other artist. So I don't plan on collecting those. I'm kind of just looking forward to hopefully like physical solo stuff in the future for Alexa. But I'm obviously, you know, willing to be patient on that because she's been through a lot in the last year specifically with the way the company treated her. And so I'm just honestly glad that she's out of there and she can kind of just like move on with her life, you know. But this is the Alexa collection as it stands right now. So we have Girls Gone Vogue fully done, and then I do have Extra and Tattoo. I am missing the debut era photo cards, but I don't think I'm ever going to get those because that album is just basically non-existent. So yeah, that's kind of where we are with that. And then the last page in this binder is my photo card pulls. So I do have 2 of their physical albums, one from Gunshot era and one from 2 eras ago. I'm totally blanking on what it was called, but I do know their most recent era was Touch era. I do like Touch, like the title track itself, but I listened to the rest of the mini album and I honestly wasn't vibing with it too much. So I did not decide to pick up a physical copy of their latest release, but of the releases that I have, I just decided to store the photo cards, and that's what I got for that. So that's everything I got in my miscellaneous photo card binder. All I have left now is the large inclusions, so I'm going to try to breeze through those and go through those kind of quick. All right, so moving on, I do have 3 large inclusion binders to go through, and I do remember asking in my last photo card collection tour if you guys still wanted to see these binders, and a lot of you said yes, so that's why I am keeping up with showing off my large inclusions binders. I don't think I've made too many additions to these binders in particular over the last 6 months, but nonetheless, I am still going to flip through them. I think this first binder here, despite the picture of Jenny being on the front, I think it's all red velvet and aespa. So these are going to be all red velvet things at the top, and I think I have it set up to where most recent era is on the top and then older eras are towards the back. So I kind of actually like that setup for my large inclusions binders as opposed to my photo card binders, because the large inclusions I don't really take too seriously. I don't seek them out really to collect them. I kind of just store what I get from the albums. And so what I like to do is just store them as quickly as possible. So having to worry about like flipping through several pages to get to the back of a binder when I'm just trying to store these as quick as possible, I don't really like having to do that. So my goal is to just do these in like reverse order. So most recent stuff on top and then older stuff towards the back. And that's how I like to do it. But we have a lot of red velvet stuff to go through here. It is kind of like, it's kind of cool to see as you flip backwards through all of the eras to kind of remind yourself like, okay, they went from this to then this and this. And so, you know, I will say that is kind of satisfying. But, you know, I know some people really like to have things, oldest stuff on top and then newer stuff towards the back. So it's really just all about personal preference. And a lot of these large inclusions too, you'll notice like they're not stored the best. Like they probably could be stored better as we get into, I think, some solo stuff and maybe subunit stuff that follows. But they probably could be stored a little bit better. Like I said, I kind of want to store them as quick as possible. So I just throw them into the sleeves that I have and move on from there, or the pockets that I have, I should say. So we move into Wendy's solo stuff, and then here I believe this is Tilt. I was just putting these away last night, so that is very fresh in my mind. And then we have Monster right after that. And now we get into aespa. So these are Polaroids from the Blu-ray DVD that I mentioned earlier. And then these are also postcards, I think, from that, and this little like film strip. And then we get into Whiplash era. And you'll notice when we get there, I don't hardly have anything, if at all, for drama era in here. I just decided to basically leave all of the large inclusions for drama in their respective albums because I think it was pretty easy to just leave all the stuff in their respective albums from what I remember. So like all the poster book, postcards and all that stuff, or not poster book, poster versions, like these things for Armageddon, I didn't store those for drama, even though drama did have the poster versions, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm just trying to flip through all of these kind of quick because I know this video is going to be very long, and I know not everyone loves the large inclusions, but I do want to at least, honor the people that said that they want to see the large inclusions. I want to at least, give them a little bit of what they want. So that's why I am at least showing these. And then we have SMCU Palace. And then we get into Girls Era. And do I have an OT4 set for this? I do not, but I was very close to it, I see. And then we get into the SMCU Express, and then Savage Era, and that is it. So that is my entire Red Velvet and aespa large inclusions binder. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next large inclusions binder I have, I think is going to be ITZY, because I think I left ITZY in the ITZY like covered large inclusions binder. And it looks like I did, judging by the top. So I did recently put these away. I don't think it was yesterday, but it was like a week ago that I put these away. These are my large inclusions for Girls Would Be Girls. So we do have a full OT5 set for those like mini posters. And then I think this is also a full OT5 set for these particular mini posters. And then I have this film strip right here. And then to finish off this era, I have these two OT5 postcards, and we move into Gold Era shortly after that, which these particular like golden ticket type things, I love those so much. Those are so cool. Every time I flip by those in my large inclusions binder, I'm just like, that was such a great idea by JYP to do those. And then I do store the standees. I could like stand up, obviously, the standees on my shelf, but I opt not to do that. And then this is what I decided to do with the IDs. It's not like a perfect fit, obviously, but it is what it is there. I feel like it like works the best for me. And moving into Born to Be era now, they did, I think, quite a lot for this era as well. So we have some mini posters here. I kind of, just for the sake of space, combined a couple mini posters, it looks like, on each of these pages. So you might not see the full poster, but I opted to just save pages as opposed to using a whole bunch of one pocket pages. And then we get into Kill My Doubt. Very nice. Once again, not collecting like full OT5 for anything on purpose, just kind of storing what I pulled in my albums. All right, so full disclosure, I just had, I think, a little bit of a power surge. I still have power, but what ended up happening is my UPS for my PC just clicked on, and you'll hear the fan running, or you might hear the fan running now. I'm going to continue recording to finish this video because that fan will probably be running for a while, and I don't feel like waiting and picking back up the recording later, so I do apologize if you can hear the fan, but I'm just gonna keep going with that fan running. So anyway, we were going through Kill My Doubt era, and then we get into Cheshire. We are only about halfway through the binder right now, which kind of is a testament to how much JYP and ITZY gives you and large inclusions per each of these comebacks here. And then we have Checkmate era, a lot of pre-order postcards here. I think that's what those are. Almost skipped over this page here, but wanted to show the Che and Yuna. And then we get into some posters, which I just folded in half and stored. And then we have probably my favorite ITZY large inclusions like ever. I remember getting these, and I think it was one of the special editions for Crazy in Love. And these like big glossy postcards, like square postcards with just like the pictures of each of the members on them, are just so unbelievably gorgeous. Like, oh my goodness. So love these like 3 pages in particular, because those were great inclusions to have. And then we also have more standees that I just opted to store as opposed to standing up. And then we have the, I think like pre-order like photocard sets thingamajigs or whatever those are. And then I have some postcards for Crazy in Love. And then we get into Guess Who. Not too much for that era. Same thing goes for Not Shy. I just have these like pre-order postcards for Not Shy era and the little folder that they came in. And then I have these for Wannabe era. And then these are the solo things that I have for Yeji's Air solo release. So a couple postcards, first couple pages here, and then 4 more postcards on this page. So that is all I got for ITZY. I have one more binder to go through, so let's do it. All right, so we have reached finally the last binder of the video. We are 1 hour and 38 into my recording, so this is probably going to be at least an hour, 20-minute video. So hope you guys brought a snack or a drink for this long video. But the last binder I have is my large inclusions for i-dle. So I have some We Are things on top here. And then, of course, this bleeds into, I think this is the one mini thing that I had, or maybe, nope, yep, that's all I have for Mini's solo release. And then we get into more group stuff for like, this is the membership kit that I referred to earlier. And then we have the World Tour merch from their World Tour last year. So those are things that I got, I think maybe in the Blu-ray. And then these are like little film strips or whatever. And then we get into 2 era. So we have some things for that. And I do think there's more groups in this particular binder towards the back. I don't think this whole binder is i-dle, because I know I have large inclusions for like Everglow and BLACKPINK and SSERAFIM, but I haven't seen those yet in the previous 2 binders. So I'm pretty positive they will be at the back of this binder. So we are in I Feel era now for i-dle. Very, very nice. And then after that, we have I Love era. So all of these film strips. They did so many film strips for that era. That is insane. And then we have Tomboy era with a couple I Never Die inclusions. Very nice. And then we have a couple things for I Burn and Dum Dee Dum Dee up next. These are very similar to the ITZY big square postcards that they did for Crazy in Love. And also ITZY did those for I think a couple other eras too. They did them for like Kill My Doubt, I think. And did they do them for gold? I think they might have done them for gold too for the special editions. So very similar to ITZY here. Very nice. Have some Dum Dee Dum Dee things. Dum Dee Dum Dee is probably one of my favorite summer songs. Like, of K-pop summer songs, it's probably like in my top 10. So very, very much love like all of these Dum Dee Dum Dee inclusions, because it reminds me of how much I love Dum Dee Dum Dee as a song. So very much appreciate that. And then we do have a couple earlier era things right there. And then these are just solo things, so Miyun and Soyun. And then we get into Soojin for Riz era. And then we will also, I think, have some things for Agassi era as well, at least I think. We actually do not. Okay, so no extra inclusions for Agassi era, but we do get into BLACKPINK stuff here. So this is Jisoo for Amortage. More large inclusions there for Me era. These are some inclusions from the photo books I was talking about earlier, the Volume 3 and Volume 2 photo books that Lisa did. And then these are also from the membership kit. And this is actually brand new. I got this in a Photocard order, just like as a freebie, but it's official. So I was like, why not store it with the other, I was gonna say pre-order benefits, but these are not pre-order benefits. Just store them with the other postcards that I have on hand. So we have another postcard from the album, and then I just have that on a page by itself. And then also, I did get both of these from a Photocard order, and these actually came. What's funny about this is that I bought Chung Ha Photocards off of 2 different sellers, and each of those sellers gave me a postcard specifically from the 2021 Season's Greetings that Chung Ha did way back in the day. And luckily they were different photocards, as my fan just clicked off there. So thankfully that fan is not running anymore. But yeah, so I actually picked these up like unwillingly, but I was happy to store these because they are official. These are Chung Ha postcards from her Season's Greetings in 2021. So very happy with that. And then I did adjust this section a little bit. So this is got the beat stuff, just stuff that I have on hand. And then we get into SSERAFIM and all of these things. Not too much for SSERAFIM, but about 3 pages worth it looks like. And then these are Everglow things. So film strips from I think their World Tour merch. And then we have stuff for All My Girls, which was their last physical release, I'm pretty sure, or maybe Zombie was. I can't remember which came first. But we have All My Girls and then Zombie, and then that is it for this large inclusions binder. That is it for all of my large inclusions. That's it for all of my photo cards, everything in my collection. So you guys have seen everything. Let me put something back into frame, and then I'm going to outro. All right, so that is all I got for my photo card collection, I guess large inclusions collection flip through update video for August 2025. This video was such a journey, but we made it through together. So thank you guys so much for watching to this point in the video, if you did. As far as immediate upcoming content on the channel, I think I'm leaning towards like a small storing photo cards video because I don't really have a lot of photo cards to store, but I still have some to put away. And I don't think I'm going to be getting any albums for any of these upcoming comebacks before next week. So I'm not going to have any unboxings to film, essentially. So to kind of tide us over, I'll probably do a storing photo cards video next week, and then we'll see where we're at in terms of with all these comebacks, because we know Joy is coming back in like a week or two, and I will have an unboxing for that. I don't know if Soojin is going to have a physical release, but if she does at the end of this month, I will have an unboxing for that as well. And then we have aespa at the beginning of September with their physical release, Rich Man. And then Yuqi, of course, as I mentioned, just announced yesterday that she will also have a solo comeback in September. I don't know yet if it's going to be a physical release, but if it is, you can definitely expect an unboxing for that. And with all that out of the way, as I mentioned earlier, it has been 2 years to the day since I made this channel. So I do just want to say a very special thank you to all of my subscribers, all of the people that have watched my videos. So even if you're not subscribed, if you've tuned in at any point, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for however you choose to interact with the videos, whether it be liking or commenting or whatever. I'm very, very appreciative and just overall very happy with the community that I have created. We have a little over 1,200 subscribers now, which I'm very, very thankful for, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and anybody that decides to tune in to any of my videos, I appreciate so, so much. So I'm very happy for the 2 years that I've spent here on this channel, and I hope to continue spending at least another year doing the same. So if you guys catch any of my videos in the future, you know, feel free to interact, comment, whatever, and we can hopefully grow this channel a little bit more. But for those that are still here, I appreciate you, and thank you, thank you, thank you once again. But with all of that said, I'm going to get out of here and end this video. So thank you guys so much for watching to this point in the video. If you did, I hope you have an awesome day or night whenever you watch this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.